Hey there, gang. It is time for Final Fantasy Standard, and I am super excited. Now, Standard is a really tough place right now, but remember, so many of our dreams first seem impossible, then they seem improbable, and then, when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. Let's play some head games. Friends, opponents, people just trying to break free of a never-ending cycle of destruction and atonement. I get it. Welcome to Head Games Arena. I'm Jetterx, and this week we are diving into Final Fantasy Standard, playing one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, and by that, of course, I mean we are playing around Yuna, the Hope of Spira. This 5-mana human cleric says during your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures you control have Trample, Lifelink, and Ward 2. At the beginning of your end step, return up to one target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battle with a finality counter. Finality counter means if it dies, it gets exiled instead. So, what are we doing with Yuna? We're doing what we should do with Yuna, and we are summoning things. So we are playing the two mythic summons from the set, Summon Bahamut and Summon Knights of Round. So Bahamut is essentially a 9/9 flying dragon that destroys up to one target non-land permanent first two chapters. I'm not going to read the rest of them. There's way too many words on this card. You're probably never going to see anything past the first two in Standard. Knights of the Round is an army and a can. 3/3 indestructible, makes 3 white knight creature tokens, 2/2s for the first 4 chapters. Again, I'm not going to read all of it. It almost never gets to the end of it. It just makes an overwhelming board state that is very hard for our opponents to deal with. We're also rocking 2 copies of Summon Titan, which mills cards. Second chapter is return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield. Third chapter, again, almost never see it. Until end of turn, another creature gets +X where the X is the number of lands. So in this deck, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be 8, 10. It's going to make a creature very big and almost always close out a game. So the goal of the deck is to put things in our graveyard, enchantments, for Yuna to then reanimate. So how do we make that work? We make that work with the Overlords from Duskmourn. So we're building a Abzan Beanstalk Overlord shell, which is a deck I was playing anyway, and I really, really liked it. Final Fantasy just gave me a whole bunch of fantastic new toys to play with that make the deck that much more fun to play. So we're trying to stay alive in the early game with cards like Bitter Triumph, which doubles as a card that allows us to discard a creature, or discard a card that Yuna can reanimate. Ride's End works very well without the Beanstalk because you're usually casting it for 2 to exile a tapped creature. So exiling creatures is very relevant in the format. Obviously, Leyline Binding with Overlord of the Hauntwoods making an Everywhere token. Leyline Binding often costs 1 and is just a really effective removal spell, kind of a catch-all. I am rocking 2 copies of Virtue of Persistence. The life game from the Lochthwain Scorn side is very relevant in the beginning. And then, reminder, Yuna can reanimate this because it is an enchantment. I settled on 2 copies of Smuggler's Surprise. I'm not sure that this belongs in the deck, but it is an enormous amount of fun to play the 5-mana version of this, 6-mana version of this, that dumps 2 creatures onto the battlefield at once. Just a huge kind of big, bold move, and that's what the deck is. It does big, bold things, which you know, that is what I am here to do. So I hope you enjoy the gameplay today. We played a lot of fun games, and actually we had a lot of things that were a lot of games where we felt very advantaged, a lot of games where we felt very disadvantaged. So there's some good swings back and forth. So before we go over to the gameplay, friendly reminder, please like, subscribe, leave comments down below. Tell me what other cards you'd like to see me build around from Final Fantasy. And with that, let's play some head games. Okame. I played that game. That's not true. I didn't. Alright, let's find out if Yuna is truly the grandest of all summoners in the plane of Spira. Not with this hand. Our most expensive 3 cards and nothing to do with them. So let's mulligan that hand. Okay, tap land into same color lands. Remarkably, I think I can keep this. And I think I tuck Binding here. That may seem strange, but I can't really use it. Okay, so our opponent is scrying. We got a white mana, which is huge for us. Underground Mortuary. We will leave a basic land on top. So this gives us a removal spell of several varieties. And then once I get to 3, I can Smuggler's Surprise to... Okay, Fenrir. Our opponent's probably playing the same thing we are. I definitely saw lists that had this card in it. I opted out of it. So, I think that this is a fine time to get this out of the way. There aren't probably a lot of hits for that card, for Locthwain Scorn. So does our opponent have Yuna? Ancient Cornucopia is not Yuna. Another Summoned Fenrir. So our opponent is going way faster than us. Okay. Shadowy Backstreet makes Leyline Binding. Costs 3. So that's what we're going to do. We'll play Shadowy Backstreet. I'm a little iffy on this. Do I want the land? I do have a 5th land in hand, but I do kind of want a 6th one for Smuggler's Surprise later. I'm going to leave the land on top. Let's see what our opponent's doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Summon Fenrir. I think we just let that hit us for 3 and see what our opponent is doing. They have Knights of the Round mana, so... Overlord for 3. Oh, I was wondering about this interaction. I was wondering if it came in with a counter when you if it didn't come in as a creature. Now we see that it does. Which doesn't make any sense to me. They are going like full ramp. So, okay. Alright, we're gonna ride Zen the Fenrir. Let them get their Hedron Archive. We don't have anything in the graveyard, so we're gonna play our 5th land and say go. Yeah. Feels bad. Our opponent's drawing cards because they don't have any action. 2 cards is no slouch, though. 1, 2, 3. Back up to Knights of the Round mana. Another Hedron Archive, and they tapped very deliberately. I wonder what they're holding here. Okay, so we're going to mill 4. Hopefully hit some creatures. Not really what I was hoping for. I'm going to take these 2 lands. So yeah, this is not really like a remarkable hit here, but we will play our Surveil land. We'll Surveil land to the graveyard. We're going to play Yuna. I'm really seeing Leyline Binding in their hand right now. Okay. The fact that we got that trigger is actually really big for us. Yeah, I'll take another Yuna. Really wish it were something else. Alright, so how much does this cost to do? It's 8. 8 to do the mill and the card dump. What is our opponent doing? So we're both big mana decks, but they are bigger mana than we are. We have more utility, I think. Yep. Okay. So what do you take out? I don't know that I agree with that. Okay. So what do I have? I have yeah. Okay. All right, we're going to put 2 creatures from our hand into play, and we're going to make our creatures hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. Do I have enough for that? Okay, I do. So our opponent might just be holding priority on the Hedron Archive trigger. Let's see what we get off the mill. That's what we were looking for. So the beauty here is this now has indestructible, so I can attack with it with impunity, mill more cards, get another Yuna back, and they can block, but I gain 5 life. And now I get our Bahamut. Yep. Opponent's got to draw some cards. They're almost certainly playing the same thing we are. Okay, now we've got Overlords. Oh no! Soulguide Lantern! Gross! Why wouldn't you hit one of my creatures? Okay. 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 Excellent. Oh, they just realized that they didn't hit my Bahamut. Bernardo. 151. What's that number stand for, do you wonder? Okay. On the draw, doesn't feel great. I don't love having this in my hand. I really want to throw it away. But I do have Ride's End on 2, which feels pretty good. This is a keepable 7. It's not good, but we can work with it. Lush Portico finds us another land. It does indeed. So now we've got Ride's End on 2, Smuggler's Surprise for the mill on 3. It's starting to look like our opponent's playing control. White-blue could mean a lot of things, though. Okay. Third land, say go. Just straight up control. This is going to be an interesting game. Alright, Smuggler's Surprise. How do you feel about me looking at my top 4? You want to counter that? Yeah. You got it. Got a counter for this? No. Good. Sure would love to draw some more lands. Ooh, our opponent choked on lands as well. And now we are going to our end step and pitching one of these Knights of the Round to hand size. Very funny. Okay. Terrific. Going to our end step and pitching the other Knights of the Round to hand size. The game as it was meant to be played. 6 mana for our opponent. Yeah.
Surrender your mind to Phyrexia's will.
Oh, I needed those lands. Okay, I drew a land. I mean, if we're playing against mill control, we're probably just boned because we mill ourselves. So this is not the kind of deck I want to be preying on. I really want to be preying on other other mid-range strategies. And really, okay, so they didn't mill my black land off the top of my library, which feels very good. Are they going to blow up the beanstalk? I'm surprised. Okay. Alright, so what's the move here? So, if I play up the beanstalk, yes, it draws me a card. Or, I'm sorry, if I play Overlord of the Bahamut, it draws me a card, and then I get to do the mill and pick up a creature thing, but I don't want either of the creatures in my graveyard. In fact, I want them to be there. Yuna's just gonna get countered at this point. So I feel like I cast Titan. Yeah. I mean, they counter it. It's not really a question. Yep. Okay. This is such a weird game. All right, Beza for our opponent. Draws a card, gains some life. So now we're playing Overlord so we can hold up Ride's End for when they attack with the Beza, which they might not. Getting rid of the Jace to mill some more cards. I'm okay with not having casting second Jace. Exiling my graveyard. Yep. Pretty great. I'm glad that that's in the main board. I do have answers to that, but now I have to get to them. Yikes. Yikes. Rest in peace. I mean, that's a good control deck for them to be playing Rest in Peace. You got it. Ride's End, the only thing that we've got a target for. We're not out of this. We just have to grind for a little while. Yeah. The mill strategy is probably pretty good against us now that they've got Rest in Peace. Yeah.
I know where to find all the answers.
I gotta say, I think I'm just gonna call this one. Like, I don't want to play the rest of this control matchup against a Rest in Peace and a Jace. Raijin no Kami, you stole my avatar. Okay. Yeah, so I have up the Beanstalk into Hauntwoods, so if we don't get disrupted, it's fine. I can actually deal with Ghost Vacuum with what I've got in my hand. It's a pain in the butt to... Oh my god, why do they have two? Alright, fine. So we don't play the Graveyard strategy, we just play the Overwhelm You with Value strategy. Double Ghost Vacuum. Pretty remarkable. Okay, we will, play Hushwood Verge and play Beanstalk again. We're going to overwhelm them with value, is what we're gonna do. Sure, go ahead. I mean, they take Leyline Binding, right? Right? Yes. That is correct. Okay. I don't need to ramp right now, I don't think, and I'd rather get some board presence, so let's get Overlord of the Mistmoors and draw 2 cards. Honestly, I'm not mad at drawing the Hauntwoods right now. Just not. Sure.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me.
Yeah, sacrificing a creature.
Sacrifices must be made.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get this down and say Avatar. I believe I'm going to impend this. Well, because I don't want them to kill it. Okay. Was a very bad hit. Yeah.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Okay. We're just not going to give them anything to vacuum. I'm not going to put a single card in my graveyard until I can deal with those vacuums. And I think that I can. We'll get rid of the basic. I mean, double up the beanstalk means I can just create an enormous amount of value. That's fine. Our opponent's a little choked on lands as well. Which is to say, that happened to us, or it happened in a different game. Not that we are also choked on lands. I don't know why they're bothering to take Yuna. Doesn't make a difference to me. Yeah, get that land out of there. Okay. Alright, Rides End the bat. We will play a land for turn. I don't want to discard all of my cards. You got it. They're doing a great job with those. So what they don't realize... Yeah, I'm just going to move to end step. Discard a card. Okay, let's get rid of this Wastewood Verge that they know about. Yeah, I think we're in a good position. We waited him out. Dang! They killed our insect. Okay, I cannot believe that they missed so many land drops. I think that there's a very high likelihood that they scoop to what we're about to do. Sure. Drawing lots of cards. Getting rid of the Ghost Vacuum. Leyline Binding again. Look at all these lands I get to dump into my graveyard. Get rid of the Ghost Vacuum. Smuggler's Surprise is hilarious. Okay, let's play a Surveil land. I mean, I guess. Actually, am I just gonna mill it anyway? It depends on what I Smuggler's Surprise with. Okay. I think I'm gonna let that go. Yep. Well, very high likelihood that they're gonna kill the White Overlord here. They're probably sitting on a whole handful of removal. Yep, there it is. You got it. Discarding 2 cards, boss. Basic land, this other land. Actually, I haven't thrown very many lands in the graveyard, so yeah, you got it. Smuggler Surprise. That's enough. Who's the bigger kahuna now? What do you think our demon avatar friend is playing? I really love this kind of hand. Starts with Up the Beanstalk, rides in to trigger it, a Surveil land with Verges to get started. Practically perfect mana. The only thing that's not perfect about it is that there aren't 2 green sources here, but excellent hand. Obviously being on the draw is good for us. Leyline of Hope for our opponent. We'll start with a Surveil. We'll keep a Beanstalk. So probably, obviously, life gain if we're seeing Leyline of Hope. Good news is we have a couple early game removal spells that are really going to be effective against them. Cecil. Cool. Bleach Bone Verge. Never going to say that card right. Up the Beanstalk. Okay. Cauldron. Interesting. So, that's unfortunate because it means we need to deal with Cauldron before we do literally anything else. Okay, so let's get the Ride's End out of the way. Okay. And then we'll play our land for turn and say go because we don't have anything else we can do. Cauldron is a pain in the butt, so why do they have Cauldron in the deck? What are they doing with Cauldron? Okay, here's Dark Confidant, which I can kill with Virtue. Okay, we will take a Surveil land. We need... I think that's fine. I think that we can play a slow game here. What do we got? Protection spell? Fascinating. You got it. Gets a land off of Bob. Gosh, what is this standard? Gets in for 2. Good for you. Alright. More Underground Mortuary. We're looking for more lands. Okay. Because we really want a Smuggler surprise them. Alright, Overlord of the Mistmores. Draws us a card, makes us some blockers. Yeah. I was wondering whether they were going to exile that from our graveyard. Okay, there's Essence Channeler. Although they don't have any life gain things on board. I'm very curious what the Soul Cauldron is in there for. Yep. Uh-huh. Did they take damage from the Confidant? Or did they use a land for mana? Okay. So... I mean, Smuggler Surprise is a pretty good sneak attack at this point. I think I'm okay with just saying go. Gonna exile our other card from our graveyard, completely useless under Agatha. I'm very curious. Like, listen, it's a good card to have in this meta right now because there are a lot of graveyard synergies. Yeah, I don't love where we're at here. Essence Channeler gains you some life. Trigger. Yep. What are we doing next? It's unfortunate because the Overlord of the Baelmerk is like kind of my least interesting. Yeah, we're gonna double block. We're gonna make them use their answers or let the Essence Channeler die and put its counter somewhere else. I'm okay with either of those outcomes. Okay. So that one gets more counters now. Do you have a follow-up? I'm actually really a little... I think we have to, right? Like, I think we rip it. I don't necessarily think it's great right now, but let's find out. Go on. Yep. Yep. I knew that was gonna happen. Oh, they let that resolve. Okay. Okay. Land. Yuna. So once the Overlord's ability resolves... One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, I've got it. Okay, so I think we target up the beanstalk. Yep. Oof. Squall gives a creature double strike, so if they get the Essence Channeler big enough, they might actually be able to kill us. Okay. Okay. Wow. We're in trouble. Graveyard Hate really makes this deck hard to... Yep. Okay. Yep. Yep. So our opponent doesn't have any... So I've got 4 blockers. I'm trying to decide whether I attack here, because I do force a block. But then, you know what? I think the answer is no. Oh, and my Overlord comes online this turn? I wasn't even paying attention. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, Graveyard Hate makes this deck a lot harder to play. Yep. There you go. 3 more damage for our opponent from the Bob. Yep. Yep. Okay, so... I don't have a blocker for the flyer. The question is, do I block Aerith? It's not an activated ability. So I can block Aerith with impunity, and then the counters just go away, right? And this adds 1 more life, so they gain 5 life. Okay. I don't know what I'm missing here. I mean, I guess it makes the flyer bigger. It's fine. They're going to gain the life either way, right? That's how that works. Yep. Okay, so they gain life. Play second Aerith. Yep. What does this need to get to for the... Oh, it's not that card. It doesn't get increasingly scarier. Hot draw. Okay, well, it's a flyer as well. So, do I not have the mana? Okay, now I do. So, Essence Channeler, if I kill it, it doesn't do what I need it to. And that Essence Channeler is going to kill me next turn. So the problem is if I play Bahamut and I kill anything other than the Essence Channeler, a removal spell wins them the game. So where do the 6 counters go? They go on Aerith, right? I think that's still right. Okay, let's do it. I think that stops us from dying, and that's the most important bit right now. Binding's a pretty great draw. Yep. No attacks. Oh, what a nail biter! I love this kind of game. Okay, it doesn't even matter what they get at this point. Like, it doesn't matter what they're doing with Agatha. It's been keeping me in check, no question. Opponent draws a land off a Bob. There's lots of... That's it! Don't call yourself that, friend. You're not a hooligan. I mean, unless you are. Doesn't necessarily have to mean a bad thing. Double Knights feels very bad. Rides at... I do have something to do on turn 2. I think I can keep this. White-red for our opponent. Hardfire Hero it is. That is a tap land. Bale Merc in the graveyard, I think. Ethereal Armor. 3 damage. We'll play this unassuming land and say go. Yeah, we gotta be careful. They're probably playing protection spells. There's Manifold Mouse. I mean, they've got it. You know that they do. They've got it. Yep, good game. Yep. If you say so, Jared. Okay. I feel obligated to look up your website now to see what's going on there. Okay, I stand by my decision to keep that hand last game. And really, like, we were never going to win that game. They were on the play. In the absolute best case, I would have had to have had a turn 1 removal, which I just don't actually play any in the deck. Yeah, I will keep this. I am on the draw. If I'm playing against aggro again, we're just going to go to Game 7 and be done with our video for today. Blue-white can mean a lot of different things. We'll keep Beanstalk. Tap land for our opponent? Do something with your lands? Moment of Truth? Is this the Reanimator? Jared's making a very tough decision right now. There we go. Okay, this is giving us the window to get Beanstalk out. Let's draw a land. Draw a land. Let's draw a land on our turn. Let's draw an untapped green source. Lockdown's fine. Alright, I am gonna play Bailmerk. We'll get Titan back. So they're playing control, looks like. I mean, it could just be Omniscience combo. I haven't seen it in a minute, so there it is. Omniscience combo. Whew. We are feeling really bad. Whoa, 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 Auto Tapper. It just doesn't see this combo. It doesn't see that Overlord makes an Everywhere token that makes Leyline Binding. Yeah. Okay, go off, King. You don't say. Who's the better Reanimate deck? They are. Yeah. Go on. Why is it a question? Okay. Nice deck. Good job. Okay. Unfortunately, I do not think I can keep this hand. It doesn't actually... I can't cast any of the cards. I cannot keep this hand. I suppose this is fine. We will put a land and a Bahamut in the back into the deck. Starting with 5. Let's go. I suppose I'll keep Yuna. It is what the deck is trying to do. Just a plains for our opponent. Is RNGesus going to be kind to us this game? Throw us a bone after getting dunked on by Standard's 2 best decks. Builder's Talent. Let's go. It looks like we might catch a break here. And not just get absolutely smashed. I'm saying that now. Watch me eat my words. Here we go. Caretaker's Talent. Let's play Summon Titan. I think we just won. Builder's Talent for our opponent. All the lands come back. We get to Surveil. We'll put an Overlord of the Mistmoors in the grave. Let's Shadowy Backstreet. Put a Virtue of Persistence in the grave. And we will play Yuna, the Grand Summoner. Get in with Titan. They just take the 7. Yuna gets Overlord. Good game. The Trufinister. That's Trufin. That's the truth. Okay. Beanstalk into Hauntwoods. Can't beat it. No turn 1 duress. No turn 1 duress. No turn 1 duress. Alright, good enough. Black-green Verge up the Beanstalk. Yep, that feels good. If our opponent shows us blue mana, we got Cavern of Souls. Bandit's Talent makes us discard Bahamut. We will play Cavern of Souls on Avatar, and we will play Overlord of the Hauntwoods. This is exactly as we drew the deck up. If this is Pixie, we just absolutely outran them. They're going to be very sad with what happens next. Yeah, Hopeless Nightmare will pitch... I think we pitch... Let's pitch a land just to be safe. We will play a Bleachbone Verge and play Yuna, the Hope of Spira. Draws us a card. Goes to our end step. We get Bahamut back. Gets rid of the Bandit's Talent. How are we feeling about that? Do you have 2 removal spells? Yes! Alright, friends, how did we do today? So, we actually played 8 games on camera, which is remarkable, because I tried to play for 45 minutes to an hour, and in the first couple of games, they were all super long, and I just didn't expect... I thought at some point I was only going to get 5 games in, and then we met some of the best decks in Standard, and just absolutely got our butts kicked. So, I'm unsurprised by that. I think that if I were going to streamline this deck and make it a little bit better, it probably would shave some of the stuff at the top off to give it a way of handling the best of one meta a little bit more efficiently. One very noticeable thing is that the deck in its current form is not playing any kind of graveyard hate. And so if we're playing the Mirror or we're playing the Omniscience combo deck, we don't have anything to deal with that. So I really want to try to find the perfect card to do that. I'm not sure what it is. There is the split card that has exile 2 cards on one half and then destroy all enchantments and artifacts on the other half. I feel like there's got to be a better option because we're never casting the second half because we're too enchantment heavy. But so what do we think of the deck? I absolutely love this deck. I think that it is enormously fun. I think that Yuna is in fact a very, very good card. I think that there is probably a much more streamlined way of making her go off, but Yuna into Knights of the Round is a real way to win the game. So all in all, Bahamut is very strong, although very expensive. You're not really getting to cast this all that often, but reanimating it with Yuna feels very good. Again, I was kind of thinking that we could do a little scamming, you could play with Scroll Shift or things like that in this deck to bounce creatures and remove the finality counter and get other triggers off of them. So maybe that's what it should be doing. I think that there may actually be a straight up Selesnya version of this deck or even a Bant version. So I'm going to play around with all those things, but in summary, this is an enormous amount of fun, but it is incredibly mythic heavy. So am I going to encourage you to draft or to craft this deck? I can't say that you should, because it is just so mythic heavy. But I've been building a deck similar to this for such a long time that I didn't mind, burning up my wild cards to build in this deck this week. So that's it for this week. Thank you, as always, for watching, for tuning in. I should be putting up a video each week of Final Fantasy content over the course of the next few weeks. I very much appreciate your time and your energy. Thanks again for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, take care of your head.